Juice Plug, and we outside, inside, join the Jams Radio, online, offline, in person, and check us out live whenever you show up. So jointhejamsradio.live, that's our website, no www dot. Don't start with that, just go to jointhejamsradio.live. And in the studio today for slushy stories, for stories that start with a sip, we got the OG Mac.
Amber's in the building.
Yes, sir. Today is coming through, teaching us how to get that cheese. Then we got NFT Poppy, Sister Law, Web3 Jay-Z out in the house.
Yeah,
it's Web3 Jay-Z with a W at the end. So So it's the slushy stories, guys. So today we're still out here hunting for that sponsor. So we're trying to get that juice. So hit us up when you can get Simply Juicy. Then we good. But today I'm just trying to talk to these guys about a couple of things that's been on my mind. I like seeing how our creative industry has been growing. You know, for you even, I'm sure you can see it from where it started, right?
Yeah.
So like how do you feel about the game and where it stands? You know, music, movie business and stuff.
It's trash.
It's trash?
It's trash.
But I like it's trash though, but like I like some of it though.
You know what? It's a 50-50 split. Right?
Yeah.
I like some of it. I hate some of it. The guys were doing it good, and everyone else is like in a pond of their own. But you can't hate anything. You know, people are doing what they're supposed to do, and you know, it depends where they want to get to. And then if they get there, kudos. If they don't, it is what it is.
Yeah, so we learn from their stories, but like
You have to learn.
yeah, so like even with you, NFT Pop, you feel the same way?
Yeah, pretty much. It's there's some people who are doing it very well. It's just that it's not like a combined effort. It's not like a collective now. It's just that you have to know the right people who actually have that emotion. Then some people are just like, it's kind of like copy paste. It's kind of like not well thought out. It's like very spammy. Yeah. So I feel like that's the divide.
Okay. Now, I see that. So like when you're kind of living in an era where, you know, Zim hip hop, you know, by general consensus in the streets, it's on the up. The stock is up, you know. But like the tastemakers, the curators, you know, the guys in the space making it, seeing it, breathing it, like you're not happy. Like I understand where you guys are coming from because I do share some of these sentiments. So you know, it gets spammy. Some of the songs they like there's a repetition to trying to recreate something that worked before.
Yeah.
So the failures now get annoying, but you're not trying to do anything different.
Definitely.
But like you said something that I liked, where like you're like where you're trying to take it to, where you're trying to go.
Yeah.
So like when it comes for you with the direction you've taken with your music.
So the thing is, you have to look at music like a sport, right? In every sport that you play, there's an outcome. There's a win or there's a loss, right? But you're still going to play the sport. Music is the same way. You have to have a direction. You have to have a reason why you're doing it. If it's just, you know, I just want to be popular, then you're going to be popular and then it fades. If you have a reason to be like, you know what, I want to feed my family, I want to do this, I want to do that, then you might find yourself getting into spaces where, you know, there's actual direction, you need a manager, you need, you know, a lot of people behind you, you know, to sponsor, to back you and to get you where you need to get to. But the problem is most of the people we find in the backseat are always trying to be in the front seat.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the tricky part where sometimes it gets in the gray areas.
So like who for that specific issue, like who suffers the most for it? Is it the audience or the artist?
The artist.
It's the artist.
Because fans will be fans regardless. Whether they like you or they don't, they'll be fans. The reason why people hate is because they're fans. They've listened and they're like, yeah, I'd rather listen to this person. But they're still fans. You know, and the tricky part is the artist suffers the most because he's got more to lose.
True that. Because the reasons that got you in the game.
That got you into the game, you wanted fans, you wanted this, you wanted this. So once you lose the fan base, everything crumbles.
You can't feed fan.
You can't feed the fan. Yeah.
Okay. So like with you, Six, like so for the reasons that got you in the game.
I think I always knew as a kid like I was gonna be creative. Like I didn't have like the aspirations of wearing a suit, going to a 9 to 5. So I remember the earliest memory of figuring out what I wanted to do was like I was gonna be a writer, right? And then what happened was when I got my first computer, it had animation software on it. And I tried my hand at, you know, animation, but it didn't really pan out. But then in the same folder, there was a little file that said FL4. Right? And when I figured, yo, okay, I can make music. This is cool. And then when I saw at that time there was a big high school music scene. So and I was like, yo, so you can actually do this, like.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was my first taste, and ever since then it's just been that pursuit of like, look, this is something. It's the same way as asking an orange tree why do you make oranges. It's in your DNA.
True that.
For me, I started on the FL3, baby. Started FL3. I started on Reason 1. For those who know what Reason is, that's where I started.
All right. So with you guys, what I'm trying to find out also is like, for these reasons, ultimately feeding the family, finding success, and just doing what you do for the pleasure of doing it.
Yeah.
Like that's what you make music for, right? But like, what directions have you found that you needed to take your music to find success, but like ultimately make it so the success is replicatable. You can find consistent success doing music in Zimbabwe. Like for you as an OG.
You know what the tricky part is? Zim is like, for the music scene, it's like all the entertainment space, basically. It's like walking on quicksand, right? It's either you sink or you swim. And we're not talking about water, we're talking about quicksand. It's either you're going to lie down and just float and hope you don't sink, or you're going to sink. Because there's a lot of people who have come and gone. And when you see their trajectory now, it has nothing to do with where they started. It has nothing to do with where they are now. Sorry, guys. It has nothing to do with where they're actually going in an entertainment space or in an artsy kind of format, right? It's like me and Six, right? We're still doing our music thing, but we found certain ways to leverage to get to the point where we can say, still being creative, we're still being artsy, but at the same time, we're making a plan for each and every project that we drop. There's a certain plan to it.
Okay. And I like how for Six also, like for him, the plan is very much build in public, make the art accessible to each and every single person who comes across it in ways that the interaction means you can support financially through the stream. Like you've managed to automate your support so that your fans can just see you in the streets recording a music video, they will support, they can feature and stuff like that. Especially what you're doing with Third World Chronicles, like collaborations that make it so that it's easier for you to now focus on the art, but now when it comes to now the business of making content about the art, it's very built in public and it's very easy for people to support you, and I like that about that.
No, thank you. It's I feel like community is such an important part, right? For me, it's like there are certain pillars. There's like 5 pillars which are like core principles of what I do, right? Which is content, context, consistency, community, commerce, right? Commerce being the last thing because it's the most important thing. It's what keeps everything going. It makes things sustainable. So like the way I operate is like everything I try. I operate like almost like a scientist, where I'm putting out something, I'm gauging response. I have an intended like goal, and then with every iteration I'm making adjustments to figure out like, okay, this is how we can keep this ecosystem going. Because as Krip was saying, it's like it is like sink or swim. It's like you have to figure out a way to make it sustainable. It has to make money. It has to be monetized. So but at the same time, it shouldn't be spam.
Exactly. So because we're gonna talk about the spamming thing later on in detail, but like monetization is a very interesting thing for me to talk about in music, because for anything that got me into the game as reasons of why I'm doing media, why I'm doing music, especially song music, it was really coming from a business graduate background, seeing my friends spend nothing but very productive time in pursuing their craft, honing their craft. So it was understanding that this has been proven to work in so many different facets in so many different ways, that the only reason why it's not working here is just because I understood our artists don't have business support systems that work specific to their niche or situations. So that's where I kind of got into the game with that reason of saying, I will help the homies figure out how to make the money and just make it consistent and bigger over time because it's possible. But like with the monetization that you each guys have found, I like how they tie it with stuff that I talk about in the weekly juice. So, check out the weekly juice if you're a sub. Appreciate you reading every single time. Then also, if you don't know what's the weekly juice, check it out. Always be staying through. We got Chak was trying to show up in the stew, trying to feature in the. So we appreciate.
My nigga,
Yeah.
Hey, my boy, you good? I'm good, you right?
Yeah. Appreciate you coming. Appreciate, man. Appreciate. So with you guys, I've been understanding that you kind of understand the aspects of monetization in music that stem from, for you, through music syncing, making music for movies, then you through NFT music. So if you could, give me a little breakdown on how
let
that
him
comes
talk about
up.
NFTs. Yeah, that's what I do.
Alright.
All right, so NFTs, in basic terms, it stands for non-fungible token, right? So basically, it's a technology based on the blockchain, and basically you're selling your music as the same way you sell an art piece in the real world, right? So it's just that now there's a record of like who owns what and a proof of ownership and proof that you actually created this that's backed by blockchain technology. So I got into NFTs in 2021. And for me, it was like I was trying to figure out cryptocurrency and how it would make sense for me as a music creator. And then at that time, NFTs were booming. And then as soon as like NFTs started booming, I was just like, okay, I need to figure out how to get cryptocurrency and actually just like get into this. And I was just blessed enough to have like someone who actually gave me some cryptocurrency, and then I started actually creating these NFTs. And when I sold like my first NFT for like what, $60, which was more than I've ever made from streaming, because I'm not a high streaming artist, I have my own niche and little audience, which that doesn't really work well with the
streaming volume.
with the streaming volume.
Algorithm needs,
yeah. So it was just now a new way where someone just saw value in like, okay, I like this song, I want to keep it as a collector. And the same way as art appreciates over time, they can actually then resell that song. And every time it's resold from person A to person B to person B to person C, I get 10% of that sale in perpetuity. So for me, it just made more sense because there was less red tape as well. I didn't have to like deal with people. The smart contracts, they just automatically execute. You see the money in your wallet.
That's it.
So
Yeah. Okay, that's dope.
For those who don't know what an NFT is, please Google it.
Oh yeah. This quick breakdown is for you to go Google more. So you can know how to make your own money or read the weekly juice. It very much is. We do the breakdowns there also. So with you with the music syncing, it's something I spoke about.
So let me break down the NFT part.
Oh yeah?
So how I've broken down an NFT is, so music has different parts, right? You have your instrumental, which has different parts, musical elements. And then you have your vocals, which have different sections. Your chorus, your verse, and then your verse has a backing and whatever, your chorus has beats, ad-libs, what. So if you break everything down, you can sell it as individual parts. So let's say you buy the lead verse. Another person buys the backing of that lead verse. And then you can sell your lead verse to someone else. And then they can own that. And then you will say, I need to buy something else, which is more value, maybe the hook section. Then once that whole project is bought out, then you have a full collective thing. Maybe 100 people can own that one song. That's how usually the NFT in music works, where you just break it down and sell certain parts of the song. And then once it's sold, you guys can reshare, resell,
And everyone, since they involved at a capacity of 100, so that's like exponential growth from start.
Exactly. Because now the blockchain now only gives you that, what do you call it? That certification that the person who owns the project is this person, but the person who bought it is this person, and the owner of the project is this person. So the money is split this way, this way, this way, this way.
And it keeps a record of
Keeps the record.
like who
Who owned
every
it?
entry.
Previous owner, new owner, and it keeps going.
It's just like an Excel sheet that
It's like an
forever
Excel
grows.
sheet.
Exactly. You know, a lot of times people overcomplicate what the
Yeah.
blockchain is, but it's literally like an Excel sheet.
Yeah.
It's just a ledger system that keeps
Yep.
it.
Learn Excel sheets, guys. It's a skill you need to learn. Learn Excel. It's simple.
Facts.
Yeah.
So like music for the movie business.
Yeah, that's a hard one. That's a tough one.
Yeah?
I'll tell you, getting into sync is one of the most annoying situations, or the most, like, one of the hardest things I had to kind of put myself into, because it took time. It takes time for you to actually find the agents, get sync approved, actually break down what sync is. Because when we make songs, we know you're doing a chorus, you're doing a hook, you're doing another verse 2, outro, maybe a bridge in the middle, somewhere. With sync, it's different. They want your music in certain sections. They want builds. They want you to have a swell in your song. Maybe you're not thinking about a swell when you're recording a song, but they want those things. They want impacts. Even at the end, there's what you call a hit at the end. Most people don't put hits at the end. They just fade it out, or they just cut the song up properly. It's done. So sync has different ways and different formats that you need to submit your song. But the nice thing about sync, it pays, boy. It pays. Ooh.
Good money.
Ooh, you could be richer than the most popping artist in this country if you're doing sync. Within a year, you could be...
Okay. So let's break it down. In a year, is it possible for an artist, because from what I understood with sync when I did my research is, you know, all the big artists that we now love coming from Africa, they had to go through that route to figure out how to make, in essence, mainstream music.
Yeah.
So your Burna Boys, all those guys. So you find yourself ending up having your music on a FIFA soundtrack. Or there's this one artist who was based in SA at the time, but she's Zimbabwean. She had a song that came out on the Netflix show that was Blood and Water. Yeah. So she's obviously on a path towards ultimately longevity. So for like an artist in Zim who's saying, okay, I have songwriting ability that could get itself into sync. What is the ideal way of saying a roadmap for a year to say the very next year can I be stressed about my syncing opportunities differently?
First, your producers. That's where it starts. I'll give you an example. If we look at a song, K-Chaps. Let's look at K-Chaps. What was his first song? Juicy. You can't put that song for sync. I'll tell you. Yeah. And the song after that, I'm forgetting the other popular one. Those two songs, you can't put them for sync. One, those samples are not cleared.
Oh, okay.
Sync hates samples. When you're putting songs into TV ads, whatever, they hate samples because they don't want the pressure of calling people and saying we need to get this proved. And they don't want people calling them to say there's a track like this that's never been cleared, that's never been cleared, that's never been cleared. They do not want that. And most of the producers that we find today, you're sampling too much. You guys are sampling. And we all, so the reason why I bring up the Juicy is because the same sample, that guitar sample, I've got that on my computer. That same sample. I can flip it today and make another song out of it. But I can't put that for sync because I would have to contact the person who made that sample and be like, listen, I want to clear this. I want to use it for this and the third. To dig it up. If we don't agree on splits, it's done. That's all.
We can't put it out.
Can't put it out. But in Zim, we get away with this thing where it's third world, so we can put anything out. No care. People make money.
Last country in the world benefits.
It's like SA right now. They're dealing with this whole situation of sampling and clearances and all that. Most of your popular songs are being cleared right now. And Amike, they're having issues with clearing that thing because someone else made it. This one didn't clear that. And it keeps going on and on. That's why you find most people are battling with a situation where they put out a song, they don't market it. They just go for shows. So they can just
Ah.
make money off shows and not actually make money from the actual song.
So long term, that means even your publishing doesn't even get.
doesn't.
It doesn't go anywhere really.
It doesn't go anywhere.
Okay.
It doesn't go anywhere.
So like for an artist, get your producers right.
Get your first
Get
thing.
your samples right. Basically.
First thing, if you know you like a certain sample, get it cleared. It's that simple. Contact the person where that person downloaded it from. They clear it. You're good to go. You do it because the minute sync comes in and they say to you, "Is this thing clear?" Or they say, "We are hearing samples in your music. Are these samples cleared?" If it's a yes, done. You're good to go. But if they're not,
Okay.
it's dead in the water.
Okay. So for the rest of the year, basically focus on honing a type of music that
Honing a
ends
type
with a hit. The samples are cleared. Your producer's capable of making original music.
Yeah.
Then what's the fourth thing before you get to the final bit?
Finding an agent.
Finding an agent.
Finding an agent. Agents are very important because not every agent deals with the type of music you might make. Some agents strictly deal in hip hop, some deal in country, some deal in alternative, so forth and so forth. Most agents right now are not dealing with Afro beats or Afrobeat because it's more of a new genre to them where they're all based on the first world, so they're like, oh, who's this Burna Boy? Let's get some stuff. Oh, who's this Davido? Now they're actually exposed because of Davido and Burna Boy. So now they want more Afro beats. But if you manage to get something on, kudos to you. It's like shout out to Camera, Blood and Water. We see you. Shout out.
Okay. So find an agent particularly who's
Find an
inclined to Afrobeat.
Usually it's a lot of conversations that you need to have. Just find agents that are find a library.
Yeah.
Let's say that. Find a library that accepts the certain type of music that you want to put or that you make. Then let's say you make alternative or you make pop. Find libraries that accept pop. And then find an agent who deals with that specific library. And then you go from there.
Examples? Song Trader.
Music
Yeah.
Base.
All right.
I have 10 agents, so I couldn't even tell you which one does what. All we do is submit music. The one who says yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So before I tie us off and get us ready to go, I just want to find out, guys, quick 5 ways to not get scammed in the movie business of music as well as the NFT business of music.
Contracts.
Contracts, small contracts on your side.
Smart contracts.
All right, cool.
Two, just be genuine about what you're doing. Simple.
Alright.
If you find something too good to be true, usually is.
All right.
Just don't.
That's actually a universal. Yeah, even NFTs. Like if it sounds too good to be true, stay away.
Stay away.
Okay.
And another thing, guys, in Zim we have this thing where we think everyone supports us. No, they don't.
Oh yeah.
If you would find every time you put your music out online, there are people who are quick to actually comment and say, "Oh, we like this. Oh, we mess with this," because there are people who don't know. They don't have anything to do with you. All they want is to consume, right? So find you 1,000 fans online, core fans. If you ask 1,000 core fans to pay $10 for your song, buy it. Guys, multiply 10 by 1,000 people. Every time you drop a project, 1,000 people. Look at that. The math will make sense.
Yeah, thanks. It does. It's a proven principle that's working globally in the creative sector right now.
Yeah.
So even with NFT spaces, that's basically the principle behind community building.
Yeah, you have to also, we have this saying in crypto, DYOR, do your own research. Don't be a passive, don't go go sign up without knowing what exactly, do the groundwork.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to do the groundwork of, most of the stuff we've actually discovered is mostly just spending times and hours on the internet, building connections, getting knowledge and stuff like that. And we're just giving you surface level, but it should actually just entice you to actually go on a binge and go and just dive in.
Talk to the people, have meetings, figure out who you're talking to, what do they do, and you know some. I'll give you an example. In a week, I go through 2 meetings, international meetings, right, of agents, libraries. We're talking to different people where they'll promise you certain things, most won't deliver, and most times it's we have to deliver something, but you'll send things that don't fit. And then it's now up to you to sit down, like I said, sit down,
Do your own research.
do your research, guys.
Where you are.
Like what you used to do when you were in uni, do exactly that. Do your research, get in there, figure out what you're trying to do, and then it'll make sense. Because I can give you an example, right? We were doing a fan campaign, co-write.com. Anyone who wants to do a fan campaign for it. You get a song, you submit it. Once it's submitted, once you meet the legal framework of what they want, they'll put your song on what's called let's just say a playlist. In this playlist, you can send it to each and every person that you want, and people can come and pay. Let's say you're aiming to get like $1,000. People come and start paying. It's an NFT type thing where people come and pay for your project. Once you meet that cap of $1,000, $500, whatever amount that you put, you're paid out that money for whatever reason that you want. It's more like what's that thing? GoFundMe. It's like Kickstarter or GoFundMe, right, for artists. So go there, put your song, get funded.
Okay. So guys, check out all these platforms. Make sure that you actually do DYOR. As far as I'm concerned, all these gems came through, dropped mad juice. They made sure you guys have all the gems. OG man came through with the cheese. The NFT Poppy told you the secrets to make sure you get your crypto up.
Yeah.
So if anything,
thing, when you're watching movies, guys, don't run away when the credits come. Go where it says music editor. Look those people up on LinkedIn, Facebook, IG. Those are your plugs. Hey, look at those people, hit them a DM. Hey, I'm this. You will find half of the time they will reply you back. And most of the time they actually want to hear what you have. Yeah. Right? And when you do start talking to them, Google Drive, guys. Contract, Google sign,
Done. Yeah. And just to add on there, it's like, if you want to do like music as a hobby, then none of what we're talking about like
makes sense.
It makes sense to you. It's fine. Just go and
leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Yeah. But if you're saying you want to have this as a career, please think monetization. Be intentional about it.
About every little thing.
About every little thing. Be intentional. Like
no one will feed you, fam.
No one will feed you.
No one. So yeah, like what I'm saying, no one will feed you. Do your research, do your homework, make sure everything that you get into, you're doing it intentionally. The same way someone starts a company, you might freeze it. It's the same way you need to be intentional about the song that you do.
Exactly.
The same way someone starts a company, you think it's a matin or in construction or whatever. It's the same principles. Learn the business side of it and then use that business mindset that you've learned for every drop that you do. If you're releasing a song, what is the intention of dropping that song? If you drop another project, because I hate when people drop albums and that album just goes nowhere. Yeah. He's got great songs. Yeah. You've got great songs. Yeah. But I don't hear them anywhere. Yeah. We just hear them in the club. On radio, that's it. But this person we'll meet in the street and we're talking nyayas about but how far the economy. No, man. No,
you can't be.
You should be telling me about things. Yeah. So let's get there. Yeah. Zim is such a small place, but we need to all just be a collective.
Yeah, true.
Help each other grow.
True.
True. To all my business managers, please. Yeah, you guys are slacking, eh? Like anyone who's a artist manager, nah, you guys are slacking. I'm like,
and also like
pull your socks up, guys.
Like utilize, this social media instead of being in the comment section and just gossip and stuff like that. You should be using this tool. It's your own radio station, your own newspaper. It's your own.
Yeah.
You can dedicate like real time to just building an audience.
Yeah.
Even if you're making 2 core fans, when you get to that 1,000 point, because you don't need a million fans.
You don't need a million.
Because there are people who make way more money from 500 fans than having a million.
Than having a million views.
Yeah, because all this, the thing is, the problem is there's this kupisa and kupira culture. Like in Zim.
Bro, financially, where you going?
Where are you going?
Because I even hate the fact that our artists can have a million views, 2 million views, 3 million views. But I don't want to say names, but our Zimura, hey, where's the money for these people? These people are making streams, eh? Who's collecting all this money? And for artists, please sign up to agencies that collect cash for you. Ghana ASCAP, BMI, Africori from SA, they do that. They can do that for you. Don't just rush to sign up to things that you don't understand. Learn, then you get in there. Because your publishers half the time are holding money that you don't even know they have. So look into that.
That actually brings me to the last thing that I want to talk about on Slushy Stories, so that we could also get some fan reactions and also get some opinions from the people. So you've heard these gents talk about music and the music business, so you understand. So now my question is this. I personally have an opinion on what happened a couple of weeks ago regarding an artist being pointed at for having used bots to boost their plays. So my personal opinion on this is, from the business manager, from the artist manager perspective, it's something that I consider as fair play in this music business that's, as you said, it's a sport, it's very competitive. So these are now tools, as dirty as they may seem. For an independent artist, you're already competing against signed artists backed by the machine. So in essence, someone has made it so that the matrix can be hacked. Here's your piece of the matrix that you can use as a, you know how we've all used, what's that, IDM, the Internet Download Manager thing. So before, it's something that I find to be a way of, I'm trying to actually figure out the principle of how to, in essence, allow each artist to have their own streaming form. Because in essence, you need it. Coming from the last country in the world where people don't pay attention to us for the very reasons that you pointed out. And that allows us to get away with certain things. But again, we don't get to enjoy the best of everything due to the fact that no one's paying attention unless we have big numbers. So what's your take on that? Like, coming from the perspectives you each represent on the spectrum.
You know, one of my favorite things, and this is going to be a hot take, is it's crazy enough piracy. You know what? Because piracy shows that there's something that needs to be sorted out in terms of the distribution model, the way people can access things, you see. So these artists who resort to streaming farms, and I know the artists you're talking about, I feel like...
names.
I feel like when you're playing the game, trying to play the game within the matrix, you know, you obviously, at the end of the day, because of saturation, you're going to end up having to, I guess some people feel compelled to take those shortcuts because the bottom line is very low. Because the amount of streams you have to do to actually get a decent thing. And people will put fire emojis all day, every day in your comment section, but that won't keep you warm.
It won't keep you warm.
So, like, you gotta, so I understand where he's coming from, you know, why he had to take it to that, you know, place. Because a lot of people also, they have like blinders. You know, they ain't gonna look at sync, they're not gonna look at NFTs. There's so many people I've had NFT conversations about, even on the most basic level, like, okay, you know, you can do this, you know, you can do that. But then, like, some people, they want to play the game, and when that game gets frustrating, it's just like, you know, screw it, let me go with this. So I understand where it's coming from, but then I'll just urge people to just look at like that 1,000 fan thing is such a powerful.
500 guys.
Even
500 fans. Loyal fans.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, not your homies, not people to Kelvin.
No.
Just loyal fans online who just want to consume your content. That's it.
So that was avoid these whole streaming farms and what.
And to add on to what I'm saying, guys, there's no excuse. I don't care who's using bots. There's no excuse. Get on TikTok. Get on
Yeah,
IG.
true that.
Make
No,
some
true
content.
that. No, actually, true that.
And one thing about artists, you guys are not entertaining.
Oh,
you
yeah.
need to be entertainers.
True that.
Your song is not going to be entertaining enough. So you guys need to come up with content that's entertaining to back your
Art.
art. Simple as that. Because half the time, the stuff we're consuming on TikTok, it's just content, it's fun, it's jokes, it's this and the third.
Yeah.
If you can attach one of your song to one thing that you actually share to your homies every time that you share, attach your song to it.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Can I just jump in on that? Look, this one is now like you hit that nerve, bro. I'm gonna get in my zone. Look, people don't care.
They don't
about your music.
They don't.
Like because about like on your reels. Like, hey, bro, new track out now. This nigga is coming from a job he hates. He's just trying to chill. He's not looking to be like, yo, this beat is fire. You remember, 90% of the people are casual. You know, these are casual consumers.
Yeah.
Don't assume the whole industry is people who are in the industry. You're not making music for other musicians. You know, what you make money from is, as you say, entertainment.
Yeah.
Right? It's entertainment, like actually have entertaining content attach the music to it. It becomes a package. It becomes an experience. It's
why
almost like you're
social media,
singing.
guys.
Yeah, you're singing, but for
You're singing, but for TikTok.
TikTok.
And then once you think blows, people will look for that song. Hey,
Yeah.
I saw something. There was a song playing in the background. What is this?
Yeah.
Boom. People find it.
People put overstage. You know what? Being dope, bro. There's 1,000 people who are dope. Not even 1,000. There's so many people who are just dope. Being dope is like having 5 O levels. You qualify to get a job. You know what I'm saying? You're dope. So what? I make dope beats. He makes dope beats. Everyone makes dope beats. But then like, are you eating off of it? Are you an entertainer? Are you what's the monetization? Because props won't keep you warm at night. Yeah?
Props don't keep you warm.
Yeah.
I'll tell you from most of the people that I grew up with making music. Yeah, I know, because the ball has dropped somewhere.
Yeah.
Because people are not warm at night.
Yeah.
People are
Hungry.
People are hungry. No, they're not hungry. They're hangry.
Oh, yeah, they're angry.
They're angry and they're hungry at
And
the
those,
same
those
time.
people are the ones who end up now being so bitter, like, oh, the game is
Nah, I need
need
pizza. Nah, fam. Let's not do that.
Dog.
And I hate this whole like pizza business. Okay, cool. And then teach someone else how to pizza like how you pizza.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate this, guys. I really do.
one last take.
Yeah, yeah.
Before we go. I know this has been too long. But guys, 500 people can make your life better.
Yeah.
Number 2, stop keeping your music in your computer.
Yes.
Your computer is not going to consume that music.
Yeah.
I don't care whether it's a demo,
I'm looking at Ching, by the way.
it's a scratch, whether you're still working on it, drop it. So every time I'm in the studio, I'm working, drop it! No, it's coming soon. Drop it! Because half the time you're keeping stuff in your computer that could actually see you progressing.
Yeah.
Half the time, those demos that you're holding on to, you could actually give to someone else. Someone can hit you up and be like, hey, I heard a song like this. You said it's not finished.
Yeah.
Can I actually jump on it?
Yeah.
Collaborate.
Yeah.
That's the one thing people need to do. Collab. Now, sometimes you don't need to collab with the dopest person.
Yeah.
Just collaborate and drop it. Release it. He's got fans somewhere.
Yeah.
Let them drop it. Another one's got fans somewhere. Because I can tell you, when I do my analytics of the stuff that I put out, I can tell you half the analytics that we see. We're now using those same analytics to target certain places.
Yeah.
I have music playing in Australia that I didn't know. And I have people from Australia hitting me up every time. Hey, listen, we heard this on radio. Can we do this with you? Can we do that with you? So that's how we have to do these things sometimes. Get online, drop that thing that you're saying. I'm dropping coming soon.
Yeah.
Drop it that same day. Drop that video. Just say it's out now. Simple.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
X songs up now. Friday.
Yeah. Also, like, don't people put too much pressure on the songs. Like, this is a hit. Like, I have to drop it at this right time. There is no right time. Right now is the right time. You know what I'm saying? It's like, just drop it. Drop it. This guy I was studying, his name is Nick D. And he was like, the problem is a lot of artists they're too attached to their songs.
Yeah.
You know, just put out catalog. Just put out the songs.
Yeah. Don't hold on. Put them out.
Yeah, there's no point in holding back because I also had that problem at some point where I was like, yo, look, I have to have this like elaborate rollout, you know, and what, and then someone actually just said, you know,
You did have one
Oh,
though.
I did, yeah.
The boy in the blanket, fire rollout though.
But then you see, with the boy in the blanket, I was still dropping music.
Yeah, very much
while I was
so.
rolling
Very much
out.
so. But yes, continue with the
Yeah.
point on elaborate rollout.
Yeah, exactly. So, in as much as you want to do an elaborate rollout, your story has this narrative and stuff like that. Like the whole thing is keep putting out, keep dropping. Like that consistency gets me paid because like sometimes like I just drop like yo, I'm working on this on this beat. I'm working on this track. It just dropped. Then someone's just like, hey, bro, I need a beat. Bro, I need something mixed. I need this. I need that because they see me as active. All the time. That's the one thing you can get from Six the Law. Like almost every day, you're gonna see me share a link to my latest drop. You're gonna see me in process doing something and stuff like that. And that's what people actually want. There's no attraction without traction.
Yeah. Oof.
You know what I'm saying?
See these
Gotta
bars.
have traction.
See these bars.
Guys,
Now I'm tempted to ask for a freestyle.
wait, bring it home. Guys, Maputi. Learn the business of Maputi. Let me tell you why. If you look at how Maputi works, doesn't have fancy packaging. But they drop those things and people eat them and they buy them. That's the concept. You don't need no fancy packaging. Just drop.
Just drop.
When you get the cash for you to shoot a really dope video, do it. Drop it.
But
But
next, man.
if you don't have capital, guys, get your phone. Get your phone. Film yourself. Get someone who just knows how to edit. Edit, drop. By the time you get to a certain level, you'll see your quality improve because you're dropping. People are listening. And then once you start getting that backing,
That's why I'm gonna have to charge for this. People won't just get this for free.
come
Nah.
on.
We get it straight from JGR, the Weekly Juice. We had OG Mac in the building, Sister Law in the building.
Absolutely.
We had Cheng in the background. He was learning all this game. Shout out to Mikey B, the producer, film producer. You know, he don't make no sounds. But yeah, guys, it's been Slushy Stories with the Weekly Juice. I appreciate you tuning in. Check out the next episode. Hopefully by then we got more drinks or at least water on the table.
You know
But
what I mean.
hey, guys, Slushy Stories. Stories worth starting with a sip. Check us out next time. Follow Sister Law on IG. Your IG, good sir.
Ambus AMG everywhere.
Your boy Bruce, the Weekly Juice. Stay safe.
AMVISAMG. Sheesh.
Sheesh. Stay safe, guys. Appreciate it.
Round two, quick. Round three, epelebe. Next day we go do one for your place. Make sure that your daddy is known. Make sure that your mommy is known. Switch off that television. Netflix know what I came here for. Shawty better shut your door, cause I know one disturb me, boy. Shawty like it when I drill a hole. When I finish I go